Hello and welcome to News Now on M6, your hometown station. I'm Mickey Brass.
And I'm Rachel Warren.
And now for our top story. Michigan's average gas prices continue to drop over last week to $3.41 per gallon of regular unleaded fuel. That's down from the past week from before when it was $3.49, but still more from last year's when it was $3.38. Michigan is fortunately below the national average, which is $3.47. Prices are predicted to continue falling.
On November 5th, South Korea shut down operations at 2 nuclear reactors due to forged parts, such as fuses and power switches. The items were supplied with forged quality certificates, yet authorities say the parts do not pose a risk of causing a radiation leak. The plants will be shut down until the end of the year in order to replace the unverified items.
After the recent national disaster, Hurricane Sandy on October 28th struck U.S. citizens hard as they are being affected drastically. The states along the East Coast specifically are the ones who have gotten hit. 100 people in 10 states have been killed by this disaster, and many are currently living in shelters. When the homes were struck by, the majority of the citizens were already in shelters, protecting them from the storm. As the homes that have been hit are suffering from and some underwater, families are struggling to keep their families alive without warmth. Many other citizens that were not affected by the storm are attempting to help pull through, helping the affected ones.
An obesity prevention program in schools around the state will be funded by $915,000 in grants from the Michigan Department of Community Health. This money is given to 10 schools to help improve eating habits and physical activity levels for kindergarten through 6th grade. Obesity is now affecting 17% of children, which is triple the rate from one generation ago.
In the 21st century, having an education is more important than ever. Records of 33% of Americans ages 25 through 29 have gotten bachelor's degrees in the last year. Research shows that slow job recovery and the recession has made people realize the importance of their education, bumping the percentage of Americans completing some college from 34% to 38%. America has been the leader in graduates since 1992.
There were 2 shootings on October 27th on I-96 in Livingston County that law enforcement officials believe are connected to the 22 other shootings that occurred during a 3-day period earlier this month. Police say a 43-year-old Wixom man has been arrested in connection with the I-96 shootings. Officials say they are still working out possible charges in the case. However, they say it is possible he could face both federal and state charges.
Police and officials at the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium continue to investigate the death of Maddox Durkash after the fell from a wooden railing overlooking the exhibit. The Pittsburgh Medical Examiner's Office says that a 2-year-old boy who died at a U.S. Zoo's African wild dog exhibit bled to death after he was mauled.
Another migrant ship sunk in the Mediterranean Sea, killing 10 people while traveling between Libya and the Italian island of Lampedusa. Last year alone, there were 1,500 deaths from trying to cross the Mediterranean.
That's very sad about that ship that sunk in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Let's see what New Sports has to say to cheer us up a little bit.
In college football news, here are the top 4 teams in the BCS standing. Number 1, Alabama had to drive down the field in less than 2 minutes to save itself in a dramatic 21-17 victory Saturday night at LSU. A stunned silence swept across Death Valley Saturday night as T.J. Yeldon's 28-yard touchdown sent Alabama past LSU. Number 2, Kansas State had to survive the final 25 minutes of Saturday night's 44-30 victory over Oklahoma State without quarterback Colin Klein, the Heisman Trophy frontrunner, who was sidelined with an apparent head injury. Number 3, Oregon racked up 730 yards of offense and 9 touchdowns and needed almost all of them in a 62-51 victory at USC. And number 4, Notre Dame got the biggest scare of all, needing 3 overtimes to win 29-26 over Pittsburgh, which had opened the season by losing to FCS foe Youngstown State. In Marysville basketball news, the Vikings boys team is getting ready for the upcoming season with the first game on December 7th at Algonac High School. The Vikings finished this season off with a disappointing loss to the Muskrats of Algonac in the district playoff opener last season. The Vikings leader Matt Russell earned honorable mention All-State honors last year and looks to lead Marysville to a solid season. The Lady Vikings are coming off of a district and league-winning season. Their first game will have them going on the road to face off with the Armada Tigers on November 24th. The Marysville girls moved up the MAC Gold Division this year, but are still expected to keep the tradition of winning alive. This Sunday, our 4-4 Detroit Lions will face the 5-4 Minnesota Vikings. Back in September, Detroit lost 20-13 to Minnesota. Both DeAndre Levy and Kelvin Johnson are questionable with injuries, along with 3 Detroit defensive players out for the majority of the season. The Vikings have a total of 334 yards per game, less than the Lions' 411. This will be a very close game and could possibly be the decision of whether Detroit will be able to make playoffs or not. The MLB offseason will see some big names on the free agency market. Josh Hamilton is the biggest name out there. Other big names are Zach Greinke, who's the best pitcher on the market, Michael Bourne, and Anibal Sanchez, just to name a few. This MLB offseason has many names that could help your team make a push for the playoffs. We'll be right back with more after this.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back to News Now on M6, your hometown station. I'm Rachel Warren.
And I'm Mickey Brass.
I hear you have an interesting story about a lung cancer hike.
Yeah, let's see what it's about. On September 23rd, the Pasaglia family joined hundreds of people at the 6th annual hike for lung health in Lincoln Park to raise awareness for lung cancer disease. The Pasaglias walked in a hike for lung health to honor Rick Pasaglia, who has a form of lung cancer. The event raised more than $90,000 for 11 health organizations. Participants walked 1 or 3 miles to honor or remember a loved one affected by lung disease to raise awareness for lung disease in research programs.
The National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis plans to open the balcony where Martin Luther King Jr. was shot to the public. The museum's main building will close at the end of the day Monday for renovations. Officials hope to open the balcony to the public on November 19th.
The museum sounds really cool.
Yeah, I'd like to go see it.
I kind of want to check it out too.
Let's see what Aaron has to say with school news.
Thanks, ladies. Quiz Bowl is starting up again for any MHS students that's interested. They held the first meeting on November 7th in the high school library. Students still interested, see Ms. Taylor for more information. The counseling office is now accepting applications from students who meet the criteria for dual enrollment. You must have a plan/ACT score of 21 and an MME score of 1 or 2. You can pick up an application and instructions in the counseling office. The deadline to submit your application is Wednesday, November 21st, 2012. If you don't know what you're doing after high school, or even if you do, go to the counseling office to sign up to visit with representatives from universities and the military branches. The Navy is visiting on November 6th, Paul Metro School on November 8th, University of Detroit Mercy on November 12th, Olivet on November 13th, U of M on November 15th, and the Air Force on February 4th. Bring some friends and see what they have to offer. Students who want to order a 2013 Marysville High School yearbook can get their order forms in the main office. The price for the yearbook is $65. Students should turn in the form as soon as possible. You can also order your yearbook online at www.johnston'syearbook.com. If you want to pay with a debit card or credit card, we will be back after this break.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they'd die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults 15 to 29. And 1 person dies from melanoma every hour. It's time. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotSkinCancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hello, and welcome back to News Now on M6, your hometown station. I'm Mickey Brast,
And I'm Rachel Warren.
and let's see what Lindsay has to say for Science and Tech today.
If you have ever been bullied, then Virtus Pro Viva First-Person Shouter is the game for you. In this game, you play as a special geek that has to defeat bullies throughout a school by actually shouting at them. The developers were inspired to make the game after playing the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, in which you shout at people and dragons. The game does not yet have a release date, but plan to offer a demo version after November 12th. Apple said that it has sold 3 million iPads over this past weekend, doubling the previous launch in March. Rather than releasing a single new product, Apple offered both the new iPad mini as well as the 4th generation iPad. The new devices are available in 34 countries. Roger Johnston, the head of vulnerability assessment team of Argonne National Laboratory, is demonstrating to the government how to prevent people from hacking an electronic voting machine. More than 26 million voters in 20 different states will use the voting machines. He says why anyone from a high school kid to an 80-year-old grandmother could do the same. The device to prevent the hacking only costs $26 and prevents hacking from taking place. Now to some sports technology. As well as we all know, not every referee in NFL can get a call right, and they most certainly cannot see every inch of the field and what's happening on it. But recently, a technology has been developed that could revolutionize the way refs look at plays. This technology takes advantage of high-speed cameras and the virtual world. Refs will be able to put on virtual goggles and be able to tell where the yellow line is or where an infraction took place. This technology is a possibility any day now, but for now, the NFL is debating on whether it would be worth their time and money. Technology is becoming a widely used thing in sports. Let's hope that the NFL takes a step into the future. Now back to Mickey and Rachel.
That was kind of an interesting story about the shouting game.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
I kind of might want to buy it.
Yeah, let's see what Brock has to say about entertainment.
Thanks, ladies. On November 22nd, Wreck-It Ralph was released in theaters and earned $49 million during its first week. It is an animated movie about an arcade game villain who is sick of being the bad guy. He tries to become as loved as one of the good guys, but ends up making things worse and then sets out on a quest to fix his mistake and save the arcade. Wreck-It Ralph is a movie that's fun for the whole family. It was certified fresh by Rotten Tomatoes and given an 8.4 out of 10 from IMDb. On Thursday, November 1st, Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert stole the show at the CMA Awards, picking up the male and female vocalist of the year. Blake took home the Entertainer of the Year award for the first time. Blake also won the Song of the Year award with the song Over You. Miranda scored the Female Vocalist of the Year. Nicki Minaj will unleash a new song album, Freedom, which could place the young pop star at the top of her game. The album will be available on November 19th, 2012 on iTunes and in stores everywhere. Nicki Minaj wrote this album going back to how she got started and shows her gratitude for all of her fans. Now let's see how our nation can come together for the best. Hurricane Sandy Coming Together, the NBC benefit charity for victims of the superstorm, raised $23 million in donations to American Red Cross. Hurricane Sandy caused more than $50 billion in damage and has taken over 100 total casualties. Big superstars such as John Bon Jovi helped contribute to this fund. You can visit the Red Cross website to donate. Now back to Mickey and Rachel.
I can't wait to hear that new Nicki Minaj CD.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I might have to buy it.
Me too.
Well, that's it for News Now on M6, your hometown station. I'm Mickey Brass,
And I'm Rachel Warren.
and join us next time.